Hi, my name is Liz Hathaway and this is my astrological look at the week ahead. And it is a big week this week. We're coming now fully into eclipse season. The first eclipse of the winter session, if you like, is the lunar eclipse on the 30th. And just the day before, on Sunday, a week today, I'm making this recording on Sunday, we see that Neptune stations direct. It's a big sort of energy really when one of the outer planets stations and goes direct. There's all kinds of themes that we can think could be playing around the time of this weekend, this eclipse. Eclipse, of course, is lunar. It's going to be in Gemini. It's the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. So confusion around travel plans, you know, bad news coming out about super losses to the air industry. Anything involved with journeying of any kind is going to be under duress. Also, you know, this kind of energy is the energy of leaks. It's the energy of gossip. It's the energy of things you can't put your finger on, but that are certainly have an ability to stir up. Eclipse season, what we know about eclipse season is things seldom turn out as we expect them. So this is not the best period of the year to be making major decisions. It's more like tie up your loose ends, get down to the nitty gritty, but don't make major life decisions because things seldom in eclipse season turn out as we expect, as we anticipate. So Neptune, station, and other things we could think of are things like spills, oil spills, you know, spills of, as I say, scams or computer system failures or hacking, or this is kind of Neptune stationary energy in combination with the eclipsed moon. The moon is eclipsed in Gemini, okay? So, you know, this is the information networks. This is everything to do with stories connected to computers, with internet, with that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a bit unsettling week in some respects, with Neptune stationing around the time of the lunar eclipse in the weekend. But I'm going to backtrack now and we're going to move back and we'll go over that a bit more in detail. But starting with Monday, moon in Pisces, trines, for example, Mercury in Scorpio. That's a nice way to start the week. Mercury in Scorpio has a depth of understanding. It's not always comprehensible to others because it can be very clean cut. There's not a lot of nuance there. But that moon trining Mercury, it feeds some sort of nuance and movement and new ideas, and in a way that is acceptable to Mercury in Scorpio. So it's opening up to new things. Moon then goes on to conjunct Neptune on Monday, and on Tuesday, Mercury, planet of communication itself, trines Neptune. So there's a complexity in this trine because we're talking about a stationary Neptune in Pisces. So there's a lot of information with Neptune in Pisces, right, stationing. But Mercury in Scorpio knows instinctively. This is a depth of understanding in a way that goes beyond the mere verbal. It's a kind of, yes, I know what I need out of that heap of information that is the one thread I'm going to pull out of here. So there's a lot of perception here. It's very subtle, but it's very imaginative. It's very feeling based. It's just a knowing that goes beyond the verbal. It goes beyond the rational. It's also, I say, Mercury trining this Neptune station. It could be disclosures of some kind, tying up of loose threads, but also shipping forecasts, stormy seas, storms at seas, vessels in distress, you know, save our souls, successful sort of rescues at sea. But also in terms of Brexit, one of the key problems in the whole Brexit discussions at the moment revolves around fishing, particularly with regard to Scotland, the fishing rights there. So there could be a Brexit breakthrough here around the fishing talks as we see Mercury trine Neptune and Neptune going direct. Wednesday, Venus in conjunct Chiron, Mercury in conjunct the North Node. These are aspects that are about adjustment, having to take a different perspective, change of view, Venus in Scorpio as well, it has all the passion, all of the intensity of Venus, you know, because Venus is not just the goddess of love, she's also connected to war, you know. So Chiron though is sort of encouraging Venus to look, if you like, a bit more towards, you know, healing things, towards you know, letting go of that pain, lancing the wound, if you like, trying to see what you can create that's going to be, you know, because what hurts us can also heal us, right? If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So it's looking for that little gem of wisdom which is in Chiron. It's trying, and then kind of making an adjustment to how we you know, how we act or how we think. Don't forget, thoughts are powerful. Thoughts have the power to move. Words have the power to move. This is what Plotinus says, one of the Greek philosophers. Words have the power to move. So how we frame our thoughts, Mercury in conjunct the North Node as well. How do we frame our thoughts, and how can we introduce a different dialogue maybe in there? Thursday, yeah, we have Moon in Aries, it's squaring Pluto, squaring Jupiter, and then Friday's interesting because we have the Moon square Saturn, which kind of introduces a sense of loss, and it's coming into the eclipse, which also emphasizes that sense of loss of things that we have relied on to give us our sense of well-being and security. It's like the loss of a parent, you know, or the loss of, you know, your comfort, you know, as a child when they lose their comforter or they lose their favorite toy. There's that sense of something being taken away. It's kind of quite a serious energy as well, especially in eclipse seasons. You know, you can think of like landslides or something happening on the Earth's surface which is being shook up, which leads to some kind of loss of life, because quite often around eclipses you see natural events, you know, like hurricanes or storms or earthquakes occurring. And then so on that same day then Moon goes into Taurus, nice solid moon, but at the same time, you know, Uranus is in Taurus, and on Friday Venus herself opposes Uranus. So there is, you know, there is some disruption still. So Venus, important planet for the UK, ruler of the ascendant, opposite Uranus, important planet as well for the US. If you use Sibley as I do, it's the ruler of the midheaven. So there is some disruption here. There is some kind of talks that are, you know, run into obstacles, having to think outside the box for solutions. And also, yeah, with eclipse season, as I say, things seldom pan out quite as anticipated. So there has to be sort of almost a built-in backstop, you know, because things are not going to go entirely as planned. You know, a classic example of this kind of eclipse energy would be Megxit, you know, when Harry and Meghan announced they were leaving, you know, the royal family, and they were going to set up their own mech and, you know, do all these things, trading, etc., etc. And immediately, you know, there was a sort of, as we say in Holland, you know, somebody put, the, you know, a stick in the wheel, you know, that was not going to happen, right? Because the Windsors, you know, are a trademark in their own right, and nobody peddles that. So it was immediately, they announced all of this on an eclipse, in eclipse season, not a good idea. Things didn't work out as anticipated, right? So then Sunday, Neptune goes direct, Mercury sextiles Jupiter, and the Sun in conjuncts Uranus. This is the day before the lunar eclipse, the Sunday. So yeah, there's that kind of distorted vision, you know, that feeling of, you know, the rug being pulled out, if you like. And I do have to think as well of, you know, people like Trump supporters, Donald Trump supporters, who are now, I'm surely slowly starting, the realization is slowly sinking in. It must be that it's game over there, you know. So there's that sense of desolation. The moon is, of course, an important planet in the horoscope of the United States. It rules the sun in Cancer. So yeah, bad timing, that's what we have to be careful of, is bad timing in emotional and security questions, which is why I think making major life decisions in this kind of period, this kind of astrological period, is not the best way forward. But yeah, I mean, having said that, there's one aspect I didn't mention, which I think is also happening this week, is the Sun trine to Chiron. Yeah, that's on Thursday. So we can have moments of real vision. We can have moments of feeling bold, of something emergent. Neptune going direct now, Mercury trine Neptune, Mercury sextile Jupiter. There is that sense of vision. So yeah, we have to hold it and we have to nurture it a bit and, wait for the moment. It's not quite yet, I don't think. I just want to mention, while we're on this idea of vision, that the Cosmic Intelligence Agency has a great seminar coming up this weekend, 28th, 29th, 30th of November, called Brave New World, which is going to be looking at the astrology of 2021, post Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto in Capricorn, and looking, of course, towards Aquarius, Jupiter conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, which we'll be talking about too. Some great speakers, we've got people like familiar faces like Bill Meridian who'll be doing eclipses, but there's also people like Christos Arcos, who's going to be doing declinations, Andrew Smith doing ingresses and astrocartography, Maurice Fernandez. So it's a big crew of agents, shall we say, looking at the 2021, that new decade then that's opening up, Brave New World. I'll be putting a link underneath my vlog, and do check it out and register, because it's a great program. Okay, thank you for listening. Speak soon. Bye.